So welcome everybody to this lovely interview with Ellie Pascal on Evolving Body, Evolving World. I'm Frances Goodall and I'm from the Women's Wellness Circle, and we're an online platform to support women on a healing journey from chronic illness. And I'm delighted to be here today with Ellie, who's one of our coaches. Ellie is a somatic soul coach, a mindfulness-based pain management teacher, and emerging kind peer group facilitator. And I'm really excited to be talking to Ellie today on this theme of evolving body, evolving world. I hope that's what I said before, but that's what it's meant to be. I keep saying awakening body, awakening world, but maybe it's a similar kind of thing, really. Anyway, so yeah. So Ellie, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so we're all here because our bodies feel a certain way. And we're all here with bodies which the world can help us to forget. So I would really love for this space interview to facilitate all of you amazing ones watching to drop in, to notice how what Fran and I talk about feels when you hear it. So we're going to begin with a guided practice. So you may want to lie, you may want to sit, you may even want to stand or have space to move. I invite you to take a position that is relatively comfortable for you. And to tune in, so you may want to close your eyes, or you may just want to let them rest with a soft gaze on the ground or the ceiling. And notice that you're breathing. Notice that your body is supported by furniture, ground, earth. And open to that support 10% more. Can you let yourself be held? And if there's challenge or discomfort in the body, I invite you to give some kind space to it. A similar way that you would if you were with a friend who had trouble, had challenge. Notice that it's there, let it be. Notice that you're grounded. Welcome you, all of you, exactly as you are. And take 3 breaths with that now. And as you breathe with your body, allow your breath to send warm light into your feet and your legs. Your hip space and pelvic roll. Your back, your torso. Noticing the heart space. And the arms and the hands. And the throat and the head. Notice if your body wants to be still or to bring any gentle movement, perhaps wiggling of the fingers or anything else at all. And now allowing this question to drop in. You may have an answer, you may not. What feels like flow in your body? Where can you feel energy that is moving, and it might feel like love or joy or vitality, and it might be in the tiniest place. It might just be the tip of your nose, or it might be the tip of your big toe when you move it. Noticing what flow and joy, and they're synonymous, feels like in your body. And it might be more of a strong or all over feeling for you, just breathing, letting the question drop in. And also really noticing if there's unknown here. You just don't know. And now, dropping in the question, what feels like block in your body? Really lightly, you only need to engage with this as much as feels okay for you, and you can always simply let your attention go back to the sounds you can hear or to your breath. As much as feels okay for you, what or where feels like block in your body, sweet one? And if you're tuning in with this, an area that maybe feels clenched or held or frozen, there might be pain there or a fatigue. Just asking really kindly, is there anything that it needs? A bit of a wiggle or simply some kind attention. And I invite you to let these points of the compass, block and flow, to be your navigator for joy, for your path of healing, and for what's true for you. And now just letting that dissolve, knowing that it will be with you for this session and outside of it if you need. Just feeling back into the whole of your body, really gently. And now seeing yourself in your mind's eye where you are. In your house or in a building, maybe even outside. And allowing your attention then to zoom out. So here you are, and zooming out to see yourself, the whole street, or the whole small area that you're in. There's other houses, people, other kinds of landscape. And now zooming out to see the whole of the city that you're in. And there you are, and there's this huge city. And then the whole country. And now the whole of the world. And here's you in this enormous world, and you're safe and grounded and present. And now zooming out to see the whole of the solar system, planets, space, moons, you. And now zooming out to take in the whole of the universe and other universes. And taking a breath with the fact that everything that exists is positive energy. Positive in this context simply meaning that it exists. It is. And that positive energy is synonymous with love. And everything is love. Everything that is created and is moving and flowing is love. It's just a practical fact. And as you see yourself here as part of this wonder, an integral part of this wonder that is existence, all of which is made up of this incredible, pulsing, glowing, unfathomable, positive energy. Again, just allowing the question to drop in, or your knowing to drop in about what feels like love in your body, what feels like your vitalizing truth, what feels like that which is carrying you forward with your healing, and they will all be the same thing. And now allowing all of those concepts to dissolve and simply feeling yourself back in your precious body, grounded here, held by the incredible earth. And breathing with kindness towards yourself. Knowing that you can let this interview space work for you. So listening to your body, knowing that there is a scope of existence so much wider than this earth, than the belief systems that exist within this earth, or even this part of the earth that you live in. And that you get to choose. You get to choose what is your truth according to what feels right in your body. Love is synonymous with what feels good in your body. When your body is flowing, it's flowing with positive energy, which is love. You get to notice what words, what beliefs nourish and vitalize your nervous system. And you get to choose and nourish and uphold and perpetuate those beliefs which serve your body. Now I'm gonna segue out of the guided practice into a bit of speaking on the topic. And I invite you to experiment with eyes open and eyes closed throughout. Just see what works for you. And again, if you want to lie or you want to move around or sit. In this session, we throw out the rules. I throw out logic in terms of what the world has created to be true and logical. We are existing on the planet at a time when there is challenge. The earth is challenged. She is struggling, and we know this. And it's been prophesized for a very, very long time, for millennia almost, that there would be a time when, you know, I have it here. There's quite a number of them, and I'm just going to read one. This is a Native American prophecy. And many have said this. I do believe that these words came from Jocelyn Mercado. She worded it, so thank you, Jocelyn. It goes like this. The eagle and the condor prophecy of the Amazon speaks of human societies splitting into two paths, that of the eagle and that of the condor. The path of the condor is the path of the heart, of intuition, and of the feminine. The path of the eagle is the path of the mind, of the industrial, and of the masculine. The eagle and the condor prophecy says that the 1490s would begin a 500-year period during which the eagle people would become so powerful that they would virtually drive the condor people out of existence. This can be seen in the conquering of the Americas and the killing and oppressing of the indigenous peoples in the subsequent 500 years, up to and including today. And these are my words. It can also be seen in the way that we live in a patriarchy. We've got out of sync with our bodies. So much about doing and activity and movement and pushing. So we're out of balance, and we've been drawing from the earth and drawing from the earth and asking for her to keep giving without the other side of it, without the allowing the rest for growth, for flow, for regeneration. And this is true for the planet, and it's true of our bodies. The prophecy says that during the next 500-year period, beginning in 1990, the potential would arise for the eagle and the condor to come together, to fly in the same sky and create a new level of consciousness for humanity. So let's all take 3 breaths with that, because that's a lot of really powerful information, and just see how it lands in your body. What it might mean for you. So I just got really one more thing to say, and then I would love, Fran, if you have any thoughts or any questions or anything that you'd like to bring in now. For many women who have been given the diagnosis chronic illness, there's something else going on. Now, the word illness can be of use. It's of use to you if it helps you to drop into forgiveness, if it gives you space, if it gives you tools. Forgiveness for yourself, I mean. It can bring this space of, oh, thankfully now I understand, and I have a reason to tell people that I have these needs and my body has these needs, and it's just a way to explain. And a way to give myself space to heal. And the word illness stops being useful when you use it, it feels like crap in your body. That it feels like, oh, I'm broken, or like, oh, there's shame here, or the world is a certain way and I should be able to fit in with it, but I can't because I'm wrong, because I'm ill. And for many women on the planet right now, there's another truth, which is you are evolving. Women's bodies, which are magic, and a lot of this will apply for men as well, but over the times of feminine oppression, through the witch trials, through simply living in patriarchy, it's been too distressing to have a body that was fully feeling, because there was so much anger and there was so much sadness and there was so much desire to say, no, like, no, I'm not going to live how you're telling me to live. There's impulses that come from a truth that is being pushed down. But for hundreds or maybe thousands of years, it hasn't been safe to follow the impulses. And now it is. And now it's time for the truth and the power of women and the intuition and the love and the joy and the exuberance and the completeness, the integrity to re-rise, so that we say, no, I'm not going to let you pollute the seas anymore. No, I'm not going to nod when you tell me what my truth is when actually I don't believe it. So what this means is the energy channels, the ley lines in the body, which facilitate easeful flow of impulse into action or into expression, have to reopen. Third eyes have to reopen. Connection to the infinite has to reopen. Crown chakras. Deep, amazing power and love needs to flow. Heart chakra. Boundaries and capacity to know oneself and to honor it has to come back. Solar plexus. Belly, the second brain, where there is so much guidance and knowing, has to come back, and we open to feeling it again. Womb, so much wisdom, so much guidance, and so much trauma has happened here. Has to reopen. We have to feel into it again, which leads to opening down the legs, reconnecting with the earth. And so we become like this cosmic, sacred, powerful, boundaried energy channel. And this process can hurt. If you imagine, if you've been like clenching your fist and not realizing it, or kneeling on something and not realizing, and it's gone numb. This is what our bodies have been doing, clenching, holding for safety. And then when that opens, suddenly the blood rushes back in, the nerves wake up, and you feel, ow, I've been holding that for a really long time and it really hurts. All of a sudden I can feel it was numb and now I'm feeling it and it hurts. Or this has been holding for a really long time and I release it and I notice how tight it is. Pain, fatigue. So in this process of opening and awakening, revitalizing, healing, pain and fatigue are a natural part of that. But when they are prolonged and chronic, it might be that this is because there's a resistance to the process, which is really understandable because when our bodies begin to wake up, they naturally ask us to become new people. They ask us to have new boundaries, to have more energy and power, to have new needs and wants, and it disturbs the status quo of our life. So it's really natural to just say, oh, no, I'm not gonna feel that. Oh, no, and then we get stuck in chronic fatigue or chronic pain. And if this is true for you, you know it, because it will feel like a relief as I'm saying these words. So take a breath with that. There's probably a lot moving. See how it's landing in your body. Let's all take 3 breaths. This is true for you if it feels like flow, probably like joy. There might also be some fear and reticence. Just notice what cocktail is alive in your body now and honor it. Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much more to be said on this, but I feel that my instinct is to just turn it over to you, Fran, and see what your words are now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's really powerful words you've shared, and I felt a lot moving in me as you were speaking. Like at times I felt some anger, rage arising, some sadness, felt moved to tears. I feel that it definitely speaks a lot to my own journey of healing and coming through the other side, and my journey since then, you know, in terms of an awakening quite clearly happening through my system of energy, but also how at times I block it, and at times it can feel too much. And also all the history stuff that I feel that as women, like we hold as women, like we hold the witch burning, I think many of us do, in us. And I know that that's been like something that I've had to go through for sure. It's been some like clearing around how my system's carried that. And also we hold what's happening on the planet as well, and what happens to women, what happens to children, we hold it. Yeah, so I really feel the resonance of what you said anyway through my body. And yeah, let me just see if there's a question that I've got around all of this. Yeah, I feel like an openness around it right now. Like at times I have felt, if you've been speaking, some like contraction or some tears nearly welling up, but it just feels like an openness now. I'm just wondering, for someone who maybe doesn't even consider themselves perhaps on a spiritual path, or and just thinks I've just got these physical symptoms in my body, yeah, what you might say to somebody like that perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first thing to say is, if this isn't your truth, it's not your truth. And it's only useful for you if it feels like in your body, really, you know. And I would also say, if you're really angry, notice that too, for 2 reasons. One is it's pushing a button in you. And if this just wasn't totally true, if it didn't resonate at all, if you just weren't bothered, there probably wouldn't be anger. Just let that drop in. And if there is, just to open, like, what's the anger about? And my mind's now done that comedy thing where it just goes beautiful and blank. And then my ego's going, but you said 2 reasons. What was the other reason? I can't remember in this moment, so I'm not going to give you one. But yeah, if there's anger, just notice what, you know, what information might it have for you. And also just take what's of use and what you're ready for to bring into your life, because holding on to how life was before and who we were before is so understandable. And it doesn't have to be a big old complete overhaul. It can just be, it's just a day at a time. And the extra beautiful thing about this is that the whole point is that you get to flow with what's true in your body. And you get to go like, what feels good in my body? And that's my truth. And that might mean some days there's challenge because you've been to the doctor and they've told you, they've given you another diagnosis. And on that day, you notice that actually a part of you is really angry about being labeled. And a part of you has had enough of being told that your body is broken because it doesn't fit in with this world. And that might feel uncomfortable. But if there's resistance and irritability and anger in those kinds of situations, notice it and let it be, because so often that spark, that anger, that actually, no, the world's broken and my body is doing something really important here, is what is going to get you well. Because that's the spark. That's your vital energy. That's your truth. Abraham Hicks talks about how the scale of emotion. So if you're in depression or shutdown or freeze or despair, the step towards joy, peace or health or whatever you want to call it, is going to feel like anger, because that's the next step on the emotional scale. And I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, like, that this path can be challenging. I'm really a part of me is really sorry about that. Like, the part of me that's annoyed, the part of me, my little ego, who still wants my life to be exactly as it was 15 years ago. I'm like, sweetheart, I really freaking get it. But at the same time, I also want to say thank you to her, and I want to say thank you to every single one of you on this path, because these are challenging times. On Earth, you know, the political system is wild, the economy, the planet, and so many of women with chronic illness are here, and they have two things in common. One is there's a memory of what you talked of, Fran, the memory of the it not being okay to speak our truth, that fear of what happened, the persecution in the past. And the other part of it is enormous inspiration, enormously powerful beings, enormously visionary beings, the ones who have come here to do the really amazing radical stuff, because they're things that the mind says, I can't do that, it's going to change my whole life. Even it can be like, I can't put up that one boundary and say no to that one friend because I'm so frightened of what will happen. But if there's something in the body that is so painful that we suddenly become willing to do pretty much anything to make the pain or the fatigue or the anger go away, we're therefore willing to do revolutionary and life evolving and world evolving steps. So this is why the women with chronic illness are often the really powerful, creative, visionary, inspirational, amazing, brave, courageous ones, because we came onto this planet at this time to say those things that most people are too afraid to change in their life. I'm going to do it. I'll have the courage. So that's why I'm here to say thank you. Thank you. Like, have a little party for you of how awesome you are and how visionary, and let it be fun. Like, let it be beautiful. Take this transmission that Fran and I are putting out as the permission to go, I had this feeling that I was on a magical path. And every time I go to the doctor, I forget. But there's magic in this journey of unfolding. There's so much joy. There's so much time that I have to be in stillness, which leads me to connect to myself and my truth and my heart. And there's beauty there. So that's why it gets to be fun and beautiful, as well as sometimes scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I love that you mentioned name the anger piece as well, because that's been a massive part of my journey as well. And sometimes, even today, I find that my system gets shut down unless I allow myself to scream or express some anger through my body somehow, stamp it into the ground or something like that. And that's still required to let that energy through, whatever was all that about. I'm not even sure half the time, but it seems to need to happen, whether it's about the stuff that's going on the planet, whether it's about old ancestral pain or whatever it is, but it needs to come through sometimes, and then the life force and the energy can come back. So what are other ways that you might suggest to help women on the path of reclaiming their life force, their energy, their power, their gifts, you know, really deeply allowing that through, you know, and what would you say, what's going to support women in that
so connect with your inner little one. Spend some time to connect with the part of you. So it might be the child that you were, who understood how beautiful you were, who just didn't even question your worthiness, who would just be in the world knowing it was wonderful, doing the things that she loved to do, expecting people to love her because she knew she was a love bunny. Or it might be the child that you know you would have been if certain things didn't happen. And spend some time drawing her, or a meditation. So Fran, I'm wondering, Fran, if we can put a link to the pressure release pack that I created, the
Sure.
love meditations, in the email, because there's a few in there that will support you to drop in. There's being, what's it called? It's called Being with the Body with Love. And there's another one called Opening to the Body. So those are meditations that are pre-guided, that you can spend time in, to open to reverence and guidance in your body. And you could take your inner child in there with you and be like, you come in and you show me what guidance my body is giving me today. Because at that point, when you were tiny, you were more connected to your visionary nature, most probably, than you are today, and more connected to joy. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be beautiful. And find ways to affirm that for yourself. Create a joy altar, which is synonymous with a health altar. Like, put on it what you love, to remind yourself that life is supposed to feel good for you. You didn't do something wrong. That's not why what is happening in your body is happening. Life is supposed to feel good for you. Your body is giving you guidance. So you have the right to tune into the flow of what feels good and what feels empowering, and what feels like maybe some days F you to the diagnosis, or F you to the notion that the world is perfect, and because your body doesn't comply, your body is broken. Actually, the world is really upside down right now. So the fact that your body is guiding you to do something other than run around and do a 9-to-5 with ease and be in logic and be in front of a computer screen. There's not craziness in your body, there's craziness in the world. And that's why the world is upside down. Your body is made of love. Your body is flowing with love. So, give yourself time to honor that, to honor yourself. There's so much more I want to say on this, but that was already so many words. Yeah.
It's really wonderful, powerful words. Thank you, Ellie. I feel we'll have to sort of move towards wrapping it up. Is there anything you want to share about the work you do with women that are listening, in terms of if they want to go a bit deeper with you or anything like that?
Yeah. So I'm a somatic soul coach. So I support women to tune into the guidance in their body. So a lot of what I do in sessions is in the vein of what I've talked about today. If you're interested to work with me, my email will be my email address will be in the email that's being sent with this video. And there's also, if you want to get a feel for what I do, there's Self-Love Sundays, which is a monthly online webinar, which is is totally aligned with what I've been saying. It's coming back to self-respect. It's coming back to self-kindness over and over, to contact your healing path and your joy. And that's once a month, and it's free on a Sunday. So again, we'll put the sign up in the email, but it's elliepascal.com/self-love, and you can sign up. I can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to hear from you.
Great. Thanks, Ellie. And I just also mentioned to you all that we have the Women's Wellness Circle community. For those that don't know, if you go to womenswellnesscircle.com, you can find out more about joining the community and getting regular coaching support and community support, and exploring lots of different themes on what's required to support full and lasting health recovery, including an upcoming course on chronic illness as a path to awakening, very in line with what we've been speaking about today. And very much part of my experience as well. So it's been really great to speak to you today on this topic. Ellie, is there any final words you want to say to the women that are listening to us or watching us?
I just want to say, please trust your worthiness. Please trust that you're not wrong, you're not broken, you're freaking magical, evolving, vital, and a gift to the world. So yeah, thank you for listening, and please give space to yourself to honor that.
Yes, thank you. Bye everybody.